Today's episode is brought to you by Destiny's Accessories, located inside of A.V. Lopez at 3831 Boca Chica Boulevard in Brownsville. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 4. Destiny Accessories has all the phone and tablet accessories you need, including chargers, screen protectors, wallets, clips, holsters, pop sockets, cases, and much more. Welcome to Paranormal 956. My name is David. As always, I am here with Bianca.
Hi, guys.
What are we talking about today, Bianca?
You were talking about a flood or something about Noah's Ark. Some shit like that.
So there is a rumor going around.
What?
About
Noah got to build another ark or what?
Noah's going to come to town and teach wood building. No.
take pairs of animals and stuff.
Yeah. The rumor is that a 1,000-year storm is coming.
He's going to do a meet and greet.
Meet and greet with Noah. It's going to be the best zoo ever. You ever wanted to go to the zoo on a boat? All right. So there's a theory.
Let's get serious now.
That's serious.
Yeah.
That there is a storm coming. Yeah.
What?
A 1,000-year storm. They're calling it the Arkstorm. Okay. I think the Ark has to do with Noah. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's for.
Just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should say from the top that the National Weather Service has debunked this, but what else would they say? Right?
I mean, yeah, they can't really cause panic on 20-year-olds that are going to be 50 by that time.
Well, no, it's supposed to hit like this year or within the next few years.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was like in 30 years.
No.
I thought I saw a TikTok that said like it was like 30 years away.
So I may be on a different TikTok because my TikTok was much sooner than that. And so this is what the whole...
Is it because you're older?
Maybe. They're like, you know what? Give this guy the fresh stuff because he's not going to last much longer. Do the young one. She can wait.
She can wait for the next 30 years, but this one, it's already going to be...
Jesus Christ, yeah. So she's like, they're like, she's got to get the stuff. She'll get it later. You need to know this stuff now. So this is fresh.
Okay.
Right? So what the theory is that there's a river in the sky that is going to rain on California.
There's a river in the sky.
Right.
There's a river in the sky.
Right. And so this river...
You're not passing through that just like, oh yeah, it's a river in the sky. Like,
so
it's like, it's very common. Like, it's not... What?
So this is... You're onto something with this because I kind of have been thinking about this myself.
Okay.
So we touch on this quite a bit, but I'm much older than you are. When I was little, we didn't have this weird weather stuff like this. Like we didn't have
me neither. This is the first time I'm hearing about this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a river in the sky. What do you mean?
Yeah, I had never heard of this either. My best guess, and I probably should have looked this
We
up.
get the best weather out here, right?
Too hot? It's too hot. Why is it so hot? This is what I think. I think every time it gets to 100 degrees, we should fire all the weathermen.
Why?
Because they got too much power. Like, why are they making it so hot all the time?
Do they really control it though?
They're putting rivers in the sky now. That wasn't a thing when I was little. Who's doing that? It's got to be them.
Not me.
So if you remember back several years ago, they had the Hurricane Sandy. It turned into a superstorm Sandy. And then it turned into like this polar vortex.
I remember the Sandy. I don't remember the details of it. But
so it was basically a hurricane that went to like South Carolina and like devastated South Carolina. Okay. And then it kind of went back into the ocean a little bit. And where it's supposed to get into cold water and dissipate, it got into cold water and it turned into like a snow hurricane. And then it hit New York and Canada. And so they call it Superstorm Sandy because it was this super humongous hurricane, but it was a snow hurricane. And so it was just ridiculous. Like it was so much, it was a blizzard that went through all through New York and into Canada. That stuff didn't happen when I was little. Like I never heard of a polar vortex until that. And then now we seem to have them all the time.
I mean, yeah, the locations are kind of weird.
And then when I was little too, so we live in deep South Texas, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have Arctic fronts when I was little either.
You didn't have no fucking...
It didn't get into the 20s like it has recently. It didn't snow like it has recently.
Right.
Like it was just cooler. But it wasn't like people are going to die because it's going to get so cold. That didn't happen.
I mean, we're not used to it. That's why. I think that's why they're dying.
But I'm almost 50 years old. I've seen some stuff.
Which your birthday is almost like literally around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be right around the corner. And
Anyways.
so this weather stuff is all new. And so right now there is a river in the sky. One hit California.
Okay, but when you look into the sky, you're able to see it. Or how the fuck does that work? What? It's literally a river for you guys to call it a river. I'm saying you guys because I'm not even looking into it.
Yeah,
not even.
So I'm not in California. I haven't seen this myself with my own eyes.
You should next time.
But I have
before you talk about it on the show. I'm just saying.
So I've seen the weather where you can see this river in the ocean, right? It's like over the sky.
Okay.
And it looks like a snake and like a big fat water in the sky. And so one hit California like in February, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it rained, and I think this was just a week or so. But it rained like it never rains in Los Angeles, but it rained for like a whole week. And so Los Angeles was like flooded. Everywhere was flooded. They canceled school. Like it was disastrous.
Nice.
The fear is that was like a little bitty river and it's just a piece of a river. In between Hawaii and Los Angeles,
okay,
there's a much bigger one that keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting closer and closer to California. And so the theory is that eventually it's going to reach California. And instead of a week of nonstop torrential rain, it's going to be like 100 days of rain. And so they're predicting trillions of dollars of damage. So people are more scared of this than they are of that San Andreas earthquake that everybody talks about, the big one coming.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it could do even more damage. So a lot of people don't know this, but in the middle of California, there was a humongous lake that they dried out so that they could put crops and stuff.
Oh.
And so they're thinking that if it does that rain thing,
they're fucked.
It's all those cities and everything is going to just disappear because that's going to be a lake again. And so so it makes sense to me that the government doesn't want to admit that this is a real thing because that sounds bad.
I mean, they don't got really that much time if it's in the next few months.
Right. So they're saying that they're predicting it in 2024.
So at this point, if people think it's true and they're seeing this piece of river in the sky
because you're
coming down,
possibly millions of people, right?
Yeah.
Like depending on what cities you're talking about. But
yeah.
I mean, they're saying that it could be so much rain. So San Francisco and Oakland are right across each other. And there's a bay that's kind of like the one we have at the island in the middle. They're saying that could like swell up several feet.
No shit. So those are like the first people out of there.
Right. And so those are two humongous cities. Like we don't have...
I mean, why even risk it by staying there?
Right. And so can you imagine just with because it isn't guaranteed that it's happening.
You know how much the value is going to go down on properties, like just by this rumor? If it's a rumor that is just...
Yeah. What do you mean? Like if we had that theory here?
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you this. This is a little scary for me to live here because where we live, it's flat. So like it's going to flood all of us.
But the earth is round.
Well, what I mean is like in California, there's hills.
Oh, you're
mountains.
one of those flat earth.
No, like you know what I mean. Like some people live up on a hill and some people live in the mountains. And Like,
no, yeah. Nobody, like, here from the island, yeah, we're all flat. Yeah,
there's nobody that's like, hey, my brother lives up on higher ground if we need to go. There's no high ground here. Like, we're all on low ground, all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The highest you're going to get is on the highway.
Yeah, right. And we have like 2.
That's it.
We have 2 highways here. That's it. And so it's not like anything.
No.
Nothing's going to save us here. No. And so that is like, I get nervous with that. Because when you talk about like these other places that have had tsunamis and these other places that have had torrential rains with floods, like even Houston, several years ago when Hurricane Dolly hit.
Wasn't there like an earthquake over there by Austin or some shit like that? So like a few months ago.
Yeah. And so down here where we're at, we're kind of screwed. Where are we going to go? Like, we're not going to go anywhere. Like, we can't go anywhere. Unless you need like a houseboat outside to float up with the water.
Okay, Noah, chill the fuck out.
Yeah. So
anyways, back to the.
So this is a threat at the very least.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand the news. Well, the government, it's always like, hey, no, guys, chill. Like,
right.
It's not that much of a big deal. Like, come on, it's not gonna be that bad. Or,
well, it's like anything really, right? Because, like, let's just say like a meteor crashing into Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's happened before,
right?
That the extinction of the dinosaurs, right? Mm-hmm. And so,
but it's never rained like that. Like how they say that it happened with the dinosaurs.
Yeah. So this is the thing too, right? I guess Christians would believe in Noah's Ark that it did rain for 40 days, not 100 days, but 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, like we've talked about before, I've read the Bible, right, and kind of saw some holes in that story, if you will. Right? So, one thing, like we know where the highest point on Earth is.
Right.
It's Mount Everest, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough water on the planet
to cover all the world to that height. There just doesn't exist that much water. I was gonna ask that. Like, is it enough water to like flood the whole world? Like, was it in the Bible? In the Bible, was it the whole world?
It was the whole world, but in my mind, I guess to give the benefit of the doubt to the people who wrote the story, they didn't know about the whole world. They just knew about
their land, like where they were staying at.
Everybody they knew got wet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so if they lived, let's say, like in a valley, like in California, for them, maybe it was the whole world. Because let's say it's a piece of land 100 miles wide and it rained the whole time.
Wait, so Noah... Okay, this is my question now.
All right.
Noah saved the people that wrote the Bible? Or he let them die? He let them drown?
I don't know. I don't know why that happened.
What the fuck?
So some stuff is turning on in the studio that I have no idea why.
Okay. Do you have a remote? Okay, so the TV turned on and it's like loading on Netflix. It's over there. It's under the. Anyways,
that was weird. Right? My TV.
Back to the.
So this is
to Noah's Ark.
So I'll just tell you the story of Noah's Ark very quickly because it's not a long story. The world was bad. Everybody was bad.
But where was he located? That's the thing.
He was in what today we would call like Iraq or Iran. So he's in the middle.
There was penguins over there?
So that's one of the holes that I have found in this story is that there's no evidence of kangaroos in the Middle East ever. There's no evidence of a lot of stuff. So like
polar bears, yeah.
Penguins.
Not even fucking, what's it called? The brown bears?
No, I don't even know if there's any bears over there.
No, I don't think
isn't
so.
Really known for their bears, right? And so there's a lot of stuff. So panda bears aren't in Iraq.
Giraffes?
I don't think there's any giraffes in Iraq. I mean, they're in Africa, but that's quite a ways away.
I mean, on the kids' Bible, they show the giraffes, the lion, the elephants. The elephants is more believable, right? Because it's like
maybe because you have Indians. India has elephants, and Africa has elephants,
and they're kind of near.
They're not that near, though. They're not that near. I mean, it's still thousands of miles. So yeah, there's a lot of holes in the story. So this is the rest of the story, right? So we got 2 of everything except for like rabbits and some animals that breed real fast, or like that I guess he was feeding them to the other animals. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So it was like 2 of everything except for these ones you get 7, blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. And he was building, so to start the story, it had never rained ever before.
So he was the first breeder on Earth.
Breeder? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So like everybody is supposed to come from Adam, right? And so
we come from him?
So yeah, so they started over with him, right?
Because, what the fuck?
So this is what they don't tell you in Sunday school. That Adam and Eve had kids, right?
Right. That was Noah.
Well, let's stay with Adam and Eve for a little bit.
Okay.
Who did they have to marry?
I don't know. Were they in Alabama or something?
Yeah, so it would either have to be their siblings.
Right.
Or there's other people. That's the only 2 options, right?
What other people?
Yeah, there's not supposed to be anybody else in the story.
No.
So they marry their sisters. Right? So Cain marries his sister. And then it goes on, population grows for a while, and then they get to Noah, and the world's just bad. Everybody's bad, and God's like, you know what? Starting over. But Noah's a good guy, and he starts telling him to build an ark, right? Because this boat, this humongous boat.
Huge.
Because it's going to rain, and everybody's like, it's not going to rain. There's no such thing as rain, blah, 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 right? You're like, what? Water's going to fall from the sky, blah, blah, blah. So
now we got rivers.
Right. And so one of the things people don't realize is in the Bible, Noah was 100 years old when he started building the ark.
What?
Yeah. And it took him 100 years to build it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you doing the math right?
I'm pretty sure.
I know you're getting old, but I don't know. I don't know if you're already.
So in the Bible,
like
just to
gone.
Just to kind of put a little.
Are you sure?
There is a guy in the Bible. I'm trying to think of his name. It's like Methuselah or something like that.
Some shit like that.
Lived to be 900 and something years old in the Bible.
Oh shit!
So like people lived for a really long time according to the Bible.
For what reason?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And so
it's crazy.
So the only survivors of the flood, according to the Bible, rains for 40 days and 40 nights. Mm-hmm. By the way, in addition to it have never rained before, people had never eaten meat before. And animals weren't scared of people like they are now at this time in this story. So that's why they just went on this boat. Because you can't imagine trying to round up every animal on the planet.
Yeah, you're taking the list down. Like, guys, the line.
Right,
come on.
Yeah, because like even like, how hard was it to get all those animals in the Brownsville Zoo? Right? And this guy just lines up all the animals in the whole planet into his
straight
boat.
Line, guys. Come on, take your number. Take your pick. Just one. A +1 and that's it.
Right. And so that's another part of the story. And so when they're on the ark is when he decides, like, now you can eat animals.
Oh.
Because you're going to be stuck on this boat for a long time.
Damn.
Right. And so it rains for 40 days and 40 nights, but that's not like the end of the story because then there's water that's flood water that has to, go down. Mm-hmm. Right. And so they're stuck on this boat for days and days and days. And then that's where the dove story goes. He starts sending out birds to find dry land. And finally a dove comes back with a branch and that tells him he found a place to make a nest and they can land now. And so that's how
they all landed on a tree?
They landed like in a mountain and then they started the civilization over, right? Right. It was just him, his 3 sons, and then their wives.
So thank you, Noah.
And Noah's wife too.
Right.
So that's the story. I don't know how we got deep into Noah's Ark in this story, but I think that's what this is.
So we need 100-year-old man to build.
To start today.
So.
Well, it's already late. Like, if this is going to be by the end of the year,
right?
You should have started 99 years ago. So we need a 200-year-old man to have started 100 years ago. It's like we're screwed.
We're fucked.
Yeah, and then if how big is this boat gonna have to be? Because he's got to take all the animals and now us. And I'm not gonna. I
don't think they're gonna take us. Like, nope.
Shit, I'm gonna have to make my own boat.
Yeah.
So
You got a kayak though.
I do have a kayak.
But for 40 days?
Yeah, imagine. That would be terrible. Oh, man. I don't even want to think of that.
No, yeah, no.
So this may or may
So
not
you really need to buy a boat, basically.
Yeah, you need a bigger boat. So this is the thing, right? Is back to what I was saying is that we know because an asteroid has hit Earth before that it just makes sense that another asteroid is going to hit Earth again. Right.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's in our lifetime.
Yeah, we don't know.
Could be today, tomorrow, could be a million years from now. But we know it's going to happen again. And so we kind of look at this situation kind of the same way too. Like we know that these weird floods and weird storms happen. But there's really no way. They say to 2024, but how accurate can their guess be?
Right. And they're not 100% sure, like on the spot. Like, because right now, it's like by the ocean?
Yeah, so it's in the ocean. This river, right, is in the ocean. And then it's going to come across land and then...
Supposedly, allegedly.
And who's to say how much of that river goes, right? Like maybe just a piece of it goes. Maybe instead of raining 100 days, it rains 10 days, or maybe it rains more.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's why the government doesn't want to really address anything because there's no facts yet.
But it's also weather. Like, what can you expect? It's not like...
That's true. Because how many times, and I post every single time this happens, right?
Right.
But I get a 0% chance of rain, and I decide I'm going to work on the yard, and it pours.
It pours, yeah.
And every single time
But that's a Texas. But that's a Texas thing. Wouldn't you say?
I don't think their weather can be that much better predicted than ours. I mean, this is another part of the problem. Is that in California, at least this part that we're talking about, it never rains. Like that's just not a rainy area and it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like with us here, like it never freezes, right? So when it does freeze, like kids don't go to school, right?
Yeah.
And it's just cold.
Yeah, it's just cold.
It's just cold.
It's not like snow or anything like that.
It's just cold. And so like where I grew up.
At the most, or like drizzle. And it's cold, but no snow. Right. Like it's not enough dangerous. For snow. No, yeah, no.
Not dangerous.
It's just like drizzling with cold.
It's really cold.
Yeah.
And so even if it's like 40 degrees and drizzling, they cancel school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like where I grew up.
To be honest, people down here can't drive.
That's true too. But where I grew up, it snowed. And it would have to snow a lot for me to get school canceled. Like a lot, like where the buses are in danger of sliding off the road. Like that's how much it would have.
That's understandable.
Right. It makes sense.
Right.
Here, it's like, where are these fucking kids everywhere? Like at the mall. Because it's not like they stay home.
Yeah, like for me that I work at a retail store, like you could just see the people coming down like, it's so cold outside. Like,
yeah.
They have you guys working here? I was like,
well, where would
you guys are showing up. Like, what do you mean?
We got more customers than ever.
Yeah. Like it's
it makes zero sense.
Yeah.
So that's not the happiest of episodes.
But we'll wait. We gotta wait and see.
I did feel like it's important to let people know.
It's kind of scary out there.
Yeah.
Whether it's it's pretty predictable, but not anymore.
Right. It's less predictable for sure.
Who knew we were gonna have rivers in the sky?
And polar vortexes and all this other stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I 100% agree. So I do want to go over a couple of updates for our fans.
Yeah.
First one, we heard a rumor, and this may be confirmed by the time this episode comes out. But we heard that Gypsy Rose may be expecting.
Oh yeah, that's supposedly it's a. Why are people clapping to that?
Well, I'm very happy for her. We don't have any hard feelings towards Gypsy Rose, and if she's pregnant, I'm happy for her.
Sure.
So we want to wish her the best.
If it is true.
If it's true.
Hopefully she'll tell us by the time we release this video. We already sent her an email.
This is what I will say, though. For her benefit, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but
Let's break the pattern.
I hope that her kid's healthy. Because if her kid's sick for anything, if she says her kid has the sniffles, people are going to look weird at her.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Right? Like, I hope her kid is the most healthy kid that there ever was, and they're happy. Because people are not going to believe anything this kid has.
No.
They're just not. In other news, a little bit closer to home, right?
How close?
So we did a little meet and greet recently.
Right.
With some of our fans.
A few fans. It was like a VIP thing.
Yeah. And so we met a gentleman.
Keith? You're talking about Keith?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Bisexual friend of ours.
Yeah.
No? You, I guess. Asked for both of our phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so...
He's like one of the biggest fans right now, I think.
He probably is I can think of only one other person. And it's not my wife.
Right.
But yeah, he's one of our biggest fans apparently. And so Bianca and I have started an inside bet.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Who's going to be the last to sleep with him? I like my odds. Because I'm not gay. And so I think I have the upper hand in this bet. And so we're trying to make it 6 months. And so do you have any updates, Bianca?
I already got 2 kids. What do you mean? I'm not going for a third one. Yeah, I'm not taking my chances. That's it. I'm done.
So she likes her odds as well. In other news.
You got too many news.
Hey, so it's not my fault, but you and I have both talked about this. We've been friends for a long time, you and I.
Uh-huh.
And from the very beginning,
once you bring up the long-term friendship,
you get nervous?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah. We've been friends for a very long time. And one of the things that we talked about early on, and we've talked about it throughout, is that we both feel like we have a little bit of psychic ability.
Right.
And so I haven't really run this over with you, but I feel like we need to kind of exercise that muscle a little bit.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to try to tap into that psychic ability of yours.
Okay.
And then we're going to update this.
So this is to test me, not test your ability.
It's not to test me. If you want to come up with questions next week, I'm happy to exercise my muscles too.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, we'll do.
Since I'm starting this, I'm going to ask you these questions. We're going to update this next week.
Okay.
And see how good you are.
Okay.
And that means we're going to give you some leniency. Like we don't expect you to be 100%.
Right.
Because this is a muscle. We have to build this. Right. And so
aren't sidekicks just like born with the gift?
They are, but I still think you have to practice. And so this is going to be our practice.
Okay.
So that we can both get better. Because I want to get better at this too. But so we've had some people sliding into our DMs.
Okay.
And asking some questions. Right? Mm-hmm. So unbeknownst to you, I've asked around for some questions, and I have.
Is this people we know?
I might know. Let's say this. I think I know them better than you know them.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
First one's from Brianna.
You can't even say the name.
We're not that close. I'm not that close to her.
Okay.
She wants to know if her husband is cheating on her. What do you think?
Brianna. I mean, with that name, I would think yes.
Oh, with the name, yes. Okay. So I'm gonna write down yes here. All right. So the next one, another woman.
I'll even say he probably did it twice.
Oh.
Let's just put it like that.
Twice. Okay. Next one's another lady, another girlfriend of mine, not girlfriend, but girlfriend with a pause in the middle.
Okay.
Named Jessica. She was proposed to recently, and she wonders if she should get married. What do you think?
Jessica. I think not. Yeah, don't do it.
All right, so I'm going to put no.
I just had a bad feeling.
Yeah. So bad news is she's already married, but we're going to find out how that marriage is going, and we're going to get back to you next week.
Fuck.
So, all right. Okay, so James.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's James. It might be Jimenez too. I don't know.
What's that?
James in Spanish. Anyway, James. James is asking. Yeah. So he applied for a job. Is he going to get the job?
James. I mean, I don't really get anything with the names. It's not like. But
I look past the name. I want you to dig deep into your psychic ability. I want you to feel like. I want you to see if like something's talking to you from the great beyond. Right. James applied for a job. He wants to know if he's going to get this job.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
But if he doesn't keep it, that's another thing, right?
I'm going to put yes, but...
Not too long.
Not too long. And that sounds like such a James thing, too.
Right.
All right. So we're going to have to keep everybody updated next week. We're going to...
Damn, I sound so negative in all the answers, right?
Hey, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes the world speaks to you in a certain way, right?
Right.
And so if you want next week, I'm happy to answer questions. Maybe I won't be so negative. I don't know.
I'll see.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I can't promise I'm gonna be more positive.
Right. It just depends how you're feeling the powers and all that.
Yeah. Now that we made this public, I bet you Keith's gonna ask a question next week. I'm a little nervous about that.
All right. You do have his phone number.
I'm not the only one.
But more than you know what? I think you're gonna be the first one to reply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that's not true.
Well, anyways.
So what are we going to put on this? Like, who wins? Who are we going to put money, or are we going to put... We take each other to dinner, pay for something. What's the bet on this?
The one who loses takes Keith out on a dinner date.
Oh, that's even worse. I'd rather take you.
Yeah.
All right, so the loser's got to take Keith out for dinner.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Like I said, I like my chances.
Right.
I don't.
But it's what in 6 months, right? We're only holding out for 6 months.
I can't hold on forever.
Yeah.
I can't do this forever.
No.
And you know what? It makes me nervous about ever doing another meet and greet.
No.
Because then we're gonna have like, are we gonna sleep with this person next?
We're not gonna do it every 6 months. Jeez.
Okay, so that's it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We will catch you later. Next week.
Yeah. Hopefully.
If you have any questions that you would want Psychic Bianca to answer,
or David,
or me, if you have somebody specific you want to answer, put that in the DMs.
Yeah.
Because we do want to exercise this muscle, and hopefully we get
a few right.
I want to get more right than wrong eventually.
Right.
That's it for today. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.